The 2023 Porsche 911 Sport Classic is a distinctive special edition that stands out in the extensive 911 model lineup. It features an exclusive powertrain setup, exterior design, and interior materials that make it a unique offering. Starting with the 911 Turbo S as the mechanical base, the Sport Classic undergoes significant changes to introduce elements that have been absent from 911 Turbo models for a long time, such as a manual transmission and rear-wheel drive. This is a remarkable powertrain setup that sets the Sport Classic apart from the standard Turbo S, Porsche's current 911. Turbo only comes with its PDK gearbox and all-wheel drive. In contrast, the Sport Classic features a 7-speed manual transmission, which is derived from non-turbo 911 models. To ensure the gearbox can sustain the Turbo S power, Porsche has detuned the engine with the 3.7-liter twin-turbo flat-six engine, generating 543 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. While this is significantly lower than the Turbo S output of 640 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque, it is still the most powerful Porsche with a manual transmission in the lineup. In comparison, the manual GT3 is the closest with 502 horsepower. Despite the dip in power, the Sport Classic has all the performance upgrades of the Turbo S. It features Porsche Active Suspension Management, Porsche Dynamic Chassis Control, ceramic brakes, rear axle steering, the Sport Chrono package, and Sport Exhaust as standard equipment. Porsche slightly decreased the front spring rates because the car doesn't have all-wheel drive, and it's tuned with the road, not the racetrack, in mind to make it a more comfortable touring car. The exterior design of the Sport Classic is even more impressive than the powertrain setup. Porsche's design team made many big and expensive requests when designing this car, and the answer to every single one of them was yes. The team started with the 911 Turbo S to get the dramatically wide body that the Turbo provides. They then made several modifications to the body, with the most dramatic change being the entirely new rear fender design. Instead of the intake cutouts found on the Turbo and Turbo S, the Sport Classic has smooth and flowing hips, giving the clean look that the designers were aiming for. This required significant engineering work to ensure the Turbo S engine received the required airflow, and Porsche had to create new tooling to stamp the panel, as the intakeless turbo-style wide body was something Porsche hadn't done before. Ducts integrated into the new ducktail spoiler on the rear end solved the intake issue, and the ducktail spoiler itself is meant to be a modern take on the ducktail spoiler from the 1972 to 1973 911 Carrera RS 2.7. The hood is made of carbon and is different from the hood used on the Turbo S, with the Sport Classic's hood dipping in the center. This special model also features a unique double-bubble carbon roof that is not found on the Turbo S. Modern interpretation of Fuchs design wheels with center-locking hubs are fitted at all four corners. As we dive into the 911 Sport Classic, it's difficult not to be mesmerized by the unique retro touches. A quick glance inside, and you'll notice the Pepita cloth upholstery, specifically chosen to bring us back to the 60s and 70s. Additionally, green accents within the cluster and a white tack needle further enforce the retro aesthetic. The interior is essentially fully loaded with every possible leather and Racetex option available. This attention to detail is not only impressive but would undoubtedly come at a significant cost if one were to attempt to replicate this on the Porsche configurator. For those seeking the ultimate exclusivity, the 911 Sport Classic comes with unique 911 Sport Classic logos placed on the sill plates and a special badge on the passenger side of the dashboard that showcases the car's build number. However, with a worldwide production run of only 1,250 units, the exclusivity factor is already through the roof.